Hi guys, it is Sunday. It's almost the end of the day. We've got one more interview for you here. Kelly Fitzpatrick, colorist extraordinaire. You guys know how I'm always talking about how much I love colorists. We never get to talk to them, so I'm so excited that you could stop by. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
How did you become a colorist? Were you an artist?
Yeah, I was always drawing as a kid and everything. I went to design school, and my friend who is also a colorist, Jordy Belair, she and I graduated in the same class, and she was looking for an assistant a couple years out of school once she'd been coloring in the industry for a couple years. And I applied for the job, and I did a test, and I quit my job in Japan that I was working and was like, I'm getting into comics. And long story short, and when I came back to America, she knew I had like quit my job in Japan without knowing if I had a job with her or not.
Right.
And she was like, hey, you still want that job? And I was like, I do. And she told me later, like, it was because one of the reasons why she really wanted to hire me is because she knew how important comics was to me, because I was willing to quit a job, like a steady job, a steady paycheck, to get into comics without knowing if I actually had a job with her or not, because I was that committed to like getting into the industry.
Now, you know, we were just talking before we started, you are working on all these books that you actually really love.
Yeah, I love them, all of them.
What do you look for in a project now that you can kind of pick the things that you feel like are the best fit for you?
I like looking for diversity, things that are new, things that are going to be, I feel like kind of doing something different than what I've seen in comics, and also comics that I wish I had when I was a kid.
Right.
Because there wasn't a lot of stuff, I think, in the 90s really for women, and early thousands. And it's really changed a lot, like in the last 10 years, it's super changed, and I want to be working with people that believe in that. And also I love working with like diverse creators and people who have different voices that haven't been able to tell their stories in comics up until recently. So I look for that.
Yeah, I look for that too. So, you know, it's really nice to hear that on the creator side of things, that's also part of people's thought process, because as an audience, you know, those are the kind of books I'm desperate for, and I know a lot of people are, you know, so thank you for making that.
Oh, yeah.
We were also talking earlier about some of the upcoming projects you have, and is there anything you can tell us about?
Yeah, so Gotham City Garage is coming out soon, and that's based on the figure line, like how DC put out the Bombshells line. And it's going to be cool. It's kind of a different take on Gotham City, and it's with girls on motorcycles, so all the leading ladies of DC Comics, so that's going to be really cool and exciting.
Is that what Babs starred?
Babs may be doing covers. I don't know who's doing covers on it, but it's rotating artists.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So it's going to be cool, and I'm pretty sure they've announced that it's going to be run the same way that the Bombshells is run, where it's digital first, and then I think that's how they're doing it, where it's digital first and then comes out in print.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, and
are you already starting to think kind of about palettes?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And also, I just got announced that Audrey and I are moving from Josie to Archie. So I'm going to be working on Archie comics with Audrey and Mark Waid.
Do you find yourself influenced, because like Archie, for example, there's Riverdale, and there's this like, you know, very long history of Archie comics.
Oh, I know.
And you were talking about how you guys were trying to kind of understand the background of Shade while you were developing what you were going to do with it aesthetically.
Yeah.
So how influenced do you think you're going to be by, like, you know, I feel like the show has a really strong color palette, and you know, then you have this old like vintage style in the comics.
Yeah, they sent out a spec sheet.
Oh.
That's like the RGB, like classic Archie colors of all the characters, like character sheets and everything. But because of what, that was like back when I was doing Reggie with Sandy Jarrell, who I worked on Bombshells with. And they sent out that kind of stuff, but really since there was Jughead and there was Archie Works, we're on issue 23, we started on issue 23. So it's a continuation of the story. So I mainly focused on what had been done more in the more current universe, and tried to kind of approach it in the same way that I approached Reggie, and how I'm coloring Josie. So it's more of that kind of style, because since Audrey worked on, Audrey and I did Josie together, I'm trying to take the style of the last couple of issues of Archie and merge that with how I was already coloring Audrey, so that it kind of flows. Because I always, as a reader myself, whenever I would look through books and see like new artists on an issue, I would always be like, oh, that's jarring from one thing to the next. And a lot of times it's because the colors are also so different, the palettes are so different. So I tried to kind of keep it in line with that whole universe.
It sounds like you really draw from your like reader self when you're thinking about being your colorist self.
Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of comics.
So along those lines, are there any books that you would recommend to people watching? Favorites of yours, things that influenced you when you were kind of up and coming, or just stuff you're reading now that you really like? So there's a couple parts to that. I'm gonna let you cast a wide net. You can pick and choose which parts of those you want to go for.
Okay, well, when I was growing up, I didn't have access to a lot of comic shops, so I really started with manga, because of, again, it was like women creating comics for women. So I was really into Clamp, stuff that like Naoko Takeuchi was doing with like Sailor Moon, Ayazawa, like those, like a lot of Japanese creators. And then when I got into Western comics, it was like from an indie angle. So it was with like James O'Barr and The Crow and Jonah Vasquez. I was really into like really dark stuff. I know it doesn't show.
You contain multitudes.
But I'm still into that. Don't get me wrong. I'm reading like the Zim comics over at Oni Press. I kickstart most of my comics because, I back a lot of Kickstarters.
And then I forget sometimes I'll just get random presents in the mail.
It's great. It's great. It's like a mail treat to myself. That's why I also back like other things that are not Kickstarter related. Like makeup things and whatever. But. Like stuff that Kel McDonald does, Tanika Stott, Spike Trotman, Hope Nicholson, a lot of ladies, a lot of queer creators, women of color, because again, I want a lot of like diversity in what I'm reading, and I like crave that stuff. And with anthologies too on Kickstarter, you get like a lot of cool new and upcoming artists that you find end up becoming these big names.
And it's just, perspectives you don't necessarily hear from all the time.
Absolutely.
So it's really nice.
Absolutely. That, and I'm reading all the Young Animal books.
They're so good.
Aside from my own.
They're so good.
And I'm still picking up like Elektra and a couple other things at Marvel. So I kind of look all over the place, pick and choose.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are going to cut you loose so you can head to the pool.
Okay.
Get your feet up after this long convention weekend. Thank you so much.
Back, drink a soda.
Exactly. Drink a soda, have your LaCroix. So, guys, when you're reading your books, just check out who the colorist is, because 9 times out of 10, if you think your book is cool, it's because the colorist is just doing some hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.